Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. It's a loser's lounge, and boy, is it a loser's lounge. Rapids fall 2-0 in Salt Lake. Hand over the Rocky Mountain Cup again. Joining me to break down the game, it's my guys, it's your guys, it's the guys, it's the fellas. Starting with Super Yahya.
What up, man? I'm sorry. I'm fully distracted and I'm doing other stuff in the background.
Wow. Yeah, don't let us distract you with our podcast here, Yahya. Also joining us live from Aurora, Colorado, the Wonder Kid himself. It is downtown Duane Brown.
What a game, everybody. What a game. What a day for sports. What a day for sports.
Nothing has ever convinced me more of constant balance in the universe than watching that Buffs game this morning and this Rapids game this afternoon. Just know you do not get to ride a high for too long. You will always find balance every time. Every single time.
I just wish the Rapids hadn't played today, honestly.
Well, at least they don't play next week.
I wish they did.
Why?
Because I want the season to end. The more games you play, the quicker it ends. I just want this to be over with, if I'm so honest with you. I'm so tired of all this.
We can jump into the game here, guys. We can jump into specifics, but I think first we have to ask the question, this game and every game going forward, was this the last game with Robin Fraser in charge of the Colorado Rapids?
I'll spoil it for you. No, it's not. It's not going to be till next year. I'll tell you that much, if it happens at all.
So, outscored 9-0 in the 3 games after Leagues Cup. Didn't get out of group in Leagues Cup. Has only scored 16 goals to this point of the season. Haven't scored a goal in MLS play since July 8th. Man, what other depressing stat can we bring up about how bad the run of play is?
You want to know how bad it is? I was actually talking to Duane about this the other day. Here, talk about it, and I'll bring up some stats for you that are gonna make everybody depressed, and I'm all for.
Let's go. Here's what I'll say again. You have to. It's not about who's better between Porig and Robin. It's not about whose fault it is. You have to. You just this is sports. You have done this is fireable now. Just end it. This team could not have looked less threatening.
What do you think?
If they tried, there's no point over these 3 games where you're like, Colorado's the better team. You couldn't point to one stretch of play, one possession, anything. This team is just, oh man, it is it's a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire. And I know that there's a lot of parts of an entire club that are not involved with hiring, firing, coaching, playing. I know
soccer operations.
Soccer operations is a mess. It's a mess. It's just rip one of the 18 BandAids that have to be ripped off. Start with the first one. This is the first one. Duane, am I right? Or are you on Yahya's side where you just don't see it happening?
I'm split because I think it is time, like you're saying, I think if Porig is trying to save any face at all about looking like he can make a good decision for the 2023 team, at this point, it's got to be this move. However, we just extended all these people. So, I mean, what tells you that this is a club that has any accountability? It talks about accountability, sure does in the presser, but there doesn't seem to be any accountability. So I would not be surprised either way. I would not be surprised if we do find out Tuesday morning that I'm sure it will be worded as a both sides have mutually agreed to separate.
I'm sure
No,
they have.
it'll be a no. It'll be a.
I am
It'll be
sure
a.
they mutually want to get away from each other.
It will be a no fault divorce where Porg gets custody of the kids. And I will also not be surprised if it's business as usual, and we'll see at September 16th at the next riveting home game.
Right. So basically, your cliff notes here are: why would we expect them to make the right move at this point? Right, because the right move is obvious, and why would they do that? Is that about some of your feelings? Yeah.
That's literally it. To me, it's like, what's gonna make you look worse? Not firing the coach that you just extended, or firing the coach that you just extended? What makes you look dumber? At this point, both of you make you look pretty dumb. So, and I don't trust the team to make. When's the last time you look at this team and you're like, they did the logical thing? If you have to think about it, that's the issue. That's what I mean. It's not that I want him to stay. And people are like, how can he stay? How can he not? Have you not seen how this organization is ran? That's my issue. My issue is not that I want him to stay. People get that confused quite a bit. Gutman, exactly. And then he's been played out of position, and he's been trying to they've asked him to play more defensively than offensively, and that's where the issue has been with Gutman. And that's where you see him get burned down that left side. But this is the issue. I think it's time to let him go. I think it's time to put him out of his suffering. But I don't think they will.
We have to release him. Like, let him.
It's gonna be the whole Air Bud. It's gonna be the whole Air Bud. I said it last pod. The whole Air Bud speech, like, get out of here. We don't want you anymore, and it's for your own good at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, let's get to the macro that our friend Jared brought up there. The macro is another loss. 2-0 to your biggest rival. Shutout now in, well, even going into this, over 50% of their games this season with no goals. So, I mean, great. You saw Navarro not really get many chances with the ball at his foot. He had one early. That was about it. Tavares, some decent dribbling, I guess. Rubio, a few little spells of possession. But for the most part, it was clearing balls out of the box from FSL all night long. Ball into the box, ball into the box, ball into the box, counter, ball into the box, ball into the box. It was, you knew it was over early. You knew it was over in the first 2 minutes.
I will say, I think Rubio does make this team into a 10th place team instead of the 14th place team, which it does make a difference. It does make a difference in not in the grander scheme of things. It doesn't, but right now it would. And that's where I think it's like Rubio would have made such a difference. He's still out there trying to ball. He's still out there trying to get shit done. That's why I appreciate Rubio so much, that he doesn't give up no matter what. And you can tell the new guys are also out there trying really hard. And even Maxu, like, even if he didn't have the greatest game, he was out there like giving effort, which is something that I can knock him for this game, and I usually can.
I mean, can you pull up Wander's point that he just put there? I mean, this is really what it comes down to. It's like, sorry.
Too many tiny bagel sandwiches.
There it is. Okay. I'm back. There's nothing to judge this team on. Like, what can you do? There's nothing to judge this team on because they know it's over. They play like it's over. No one looked like they wanted to score a goal tonight. There was no fun. There was no creativity. There was no. It just, like, I don't want to watch 8 more games of this.
We're gonna have to, man. You signed up for this. Remember?
I know I'm going to watch. I know I'm going to watch 8 more games. I don't want to watch 8 more games of this. Make a change. Change something. Change the coach. For everyone's sake. For Fraser's sake. For our sake. For the players' sake. Do something new. Do anything new, please. I need something else to watch.
Real quick, to Juan's point here that he missed 3 passes, is I saw that he missed 3 passes. but I thought it was more like he was just out of soccer rhythm because he hasn't played in so long.
Yeah, I think so too.
Then it was more than like he was actually trying. Like, and again, it's completely like this. I don't know, man. There's just so much things where I'm just like, I don't know. Are you ready for my depressing stats of the night?
Yes.
Hold on, Duane, sing us a theme song.
Oh man, I have no songs. Here's why.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm intimidated because Juan's in the show after releasing that banger this morning.
That's true.
To Green Day, so
that's true. That is just play that. Turn the show off. Let's go home.
That's the song right there.
So real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to get more depressed and I wanted to hear what was going on.
Okay.
The Rapids need a minimum of 4 points. A minimum of 4 points to tie their worst ever season.
Ugh.
You think there's 4 points anywhere on the schedule for them?
Yeah, only because of chaos.
Chaos, but you know how unlikely that is. I give it an.
It's the MLS, so it's possible.
I'll give it a 15% chance that'll happen. That they'll get 4 points.
That's where we're at now. When
that's what I think.
When Mitch has to root for chaos over an actual soccer team to make 4 points happen.
Exactly.
I'm not rooting for anything. I am a unbiased journalist.
Second one, the Rapids need to score 13. Listen to me, guys. 13 goals to tie their lowest scoring season in franchise history.
Oh no.
They need what?
13 goals to tie their lowest scoring season in franchise history.
Their lowest scoring is 29.
29. They did it twice, 2004 and 07. Right now they're at 6.
There's no chance. There's no chance. There's zero chance. There's no way. There's no way. Okay. I would probably put the over under on goals. 8 games left at 4.5. 4.5. Rest of the season, 4.5. Take the over and under right now. What do you take?
Under
4.5?
Yeah.
Duane?
I would go under 3.5. I would go honestly. I would go under 2. I would go under 2. Yes, I would.
Oh, no.
And that's not even a joke, man. That is my honest what I would put money on.
Man,
think about this. They're already at the second worst goal differential in franchise history at -21. They only need 6 more for them to be the worst goal differential in franchise history.
Which that'll be in 2 games.
Think about it. That'll
be 2 games.
Bad this team is, man. This
is why the change has to happen. This is why the change, like, it's gonna happen anyways, but you can at least say, well, we made a change up to avoid this, right? Like,
wait, I got one more.
Oh no.
They need to win 2 more games to tie their lowest win, the lowest amount of wins they had in the whole season. They need 2 to tie their lowest amount of wins in a season. You think they'll get 2 wins?
No.
This is insane. This team is actually historically bad. And I think if I remember correctly, I went through the whole history of the MLS. And I think they need 4 or 5 points. I think it was 5 points in modern MLS history, which I think it's 2008 where they're qualifying it, for them to have the second for them not to have the second worst season in MLS history.
Yikes.
They're not Columbus. They already beat Cincinnati, the 2020 Cincinnati team.
So the record, I believe, for fewest goals, I don't have an exact date on how up to date this is, but I'm thinking it's DC United in 2010 scored 21. Does that sound right? Can you think of a lower season than that? 21 goals?
21 goals. No, that was Cincinnati. They only scored 12, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Cincinnati was 2020, Cincinnati is like the worst team in MLS history.
Dang. All right. Well, even then, Cincinnati scored in 2020. Yep, you're right. 12. Okay, so they're not gonna have the lowest goal scored ever.
No, that's what I'm telling you. They've already cleared the lowest of bars. They have already cleared the.
I was worried for a second.
No.
I was
Like,
really
but
worried for a second.
They are in contention for the silver right now, and that's the thing. They truly are in contention for the silver. Like, that's how bad this team is. Like, it doesn't take much of them for them to actually have the second worst season in MLS history. Like, that's how bad this team is, man. It's historically bad. And again, I agree with you. There needs to be a change. Do I think the front office and the ownership have what it takes to do it right now? I truly do not.
No.
And that's so bad. Exactly. They're going for the spoon right now. They are the spoon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, like that spoon turned into a paddle about 2 games ago. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, that's how bad that is.
Kevin, that's gonna be the show on Thursday. Just get ready for that. That's the show on Thursday. Because here's the thing. You have to find someone who is cool enough, right? 100% approval rating, right? Everyone loves them. Cool as hell. Has to be familiar with MLS. The list is not as long as you think about who could actually be a Prime-esque impact.
I think I have a 10. Let me check real quick. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep right now in coaches that I'd actually like for the Rapids that I think would actually do a good job.
Well, I didn't say do a good job.
No,
be the coach Prime, although Prime is going to do a good job. But you need the coolness factor, the celebrity.
Oh, there's only one, and that's Pep.
The zhuzh, you know what I mean? I mean, with the Loyal going out, you could see like a Landon Donovan situation making sense as like someone with obvious MLS ties. You know, a lot of people love him. Could get some interesting players maybe in. Thierry Henry, right? Who's coaching the French under-21 team.
Rafa Marquez is still my guy, dude.
Rafa would be good.
Played at Red Bull, CONCACAF legend. Coaching Barcelona B. Like, that's kind of the guy I would look at. If I'm like, if you want a Dion coach swag, that's the guy you're looking at. You're looking at, how you said, Landon Donovan.
Thierry Henry, come here to work your way up to the Arsenal bench. Start here. Let's have some fun. Look, then you can jump over to Arsenal, where you're a legend.
It also has to be honestly, it's like Zlatan.
That's the answer.
Like, that's the answer. Has to be a guy that has like complete utter swag.
That just drips coolness. Yes.
Like a retired legend.
Zlatan.
Like, it has to be somebody like that. Somebody that's just like ultimately cool all the way around.
Yeah. Man. It would be cool. I don't think it's gonna happen. But
it's not happening. I don't even know if Zlatan is coaching, man. Like, honestly, like, the other answer is like David Beckham, but he's not coaching. Like, he's an owner. Like, those are the sort of dudes that have that Dion swag. Maybe it's even a director. Like, there's not a lot of swag, I think, in the coaching or like even the GM kind of side of it.
I know, that's why they gotta find it. It has to come out of nowhere. It would have to be like a Zlatan or something like that, right? Where it's like, oh, they got that guy. Okay. It's not going to be someone you think was ready for it. Like when all of a sudden Steve Nash was a head coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like out of nowhere, like a guy was like, "Oh, okay, he's ready."
Diego Rubio retires next season. He's just like, "I'm coach now.
I'm the captain now."
Jack Price does the same thing. I'm co-coach.
Okay. The game. Anybody want to talk about the game? We haven't really talked about the game. We keep going away from the game.
To answer you, Juaners, I'd get Claudio Reyna as my sporting director.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
I mean, he already left Austin. Yuck, but he also did a dope job with Austin. He left, and that team is shit. So, give me Claudio Reyna.
I have no respect for that guy anymore.
I don't care about respect. We're the worst team in the league. Like I don't like. We're in no position to be asking for respect. Like,
no, I'm out on that one.
Like I just don't
you
care
had me in the
about
first half. Not gonna lie.
I like all your ideas, but that one.
Give me honestly,
That
dude.
one's
Right
terrible.
at this point, like I'll take La Reina. Like I really like. Of course, I'll take anybody like from the big teams, but like none of them are coming over. So
If we have a season like this, Claudio Reyna is gonna call MLS and cry and complain about one of the other owners or sporting directors about us not winning.
Do it. Like, I'm all for it.
That's his MO now.
Do it. I'm all for it. I'm cool with that because you know what? That gives me something to talk about in this pod instead of hey, we suck. Now we suck and we have a whiny sporting GM.
Losing.
Yeah, but now we get to talk about those whiny GM. Yeah. Give me that 10 out of 10.
I'm so down on that idea.
Isn't it?
That's the first idea. That's the first idea Yaya has ever had in his entire life that I didn't like. By the way,
man, it sucks so bad that you just look over and see Pablo having fun and winning Rocky Mountain Cups and just enjoying himself.
Is it time to scrape off Pablo's name off of Dick's Sporting Goods?
No, he earned it
for the biggest villain turn ever.
No, stop! You can't go full villain. Then you turn into the villain.
Look, man, I mean, they didn't put Anakin's name on the Jedi Hall of Fame, you know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's also a movie and it's fake. That's the difference.
What are we doing?
Salt Lake is fake. It's the same thing.
Let's get on with this holiday weekend. Jesus, this is why are we even here? What is happening?
You know who's the other guy you can go get that's like super impossible?
Who?
Zlatan.
I mean, yeah, okay. Zlatan, Commerce City. Could you imagine?
But I'm telling you, we're thinking about the Dion. We're talking about the Dion effect. That dude brings the Dion effect. He's swaggy. He's cool.
Yeah, I feel like he's hated enough that it isn't, though. I don't think he has the 100% cool factor.
There's not a lot of like,
you know what I mean?
Factor
he's not that cool. He was great, but he's not like. I don't know.
So it's
Dion's on a level with like Prince and like 2 other people that are awesome. Like he's like that cool.
See, I've never heard a Prince song, so like.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bro, I'm Mexican. Have you guys ever heard of Luis Miguel? Have you guys? No. What do your parents listen to? Do you guys know about Luis Miguel? Do you guys know about Vicente Fernandez? Do you guys know about any? I doubt any. This is my issue with everybody complaining that I don't hear about American legends. I didn't grow up with those. That's not my generation. I don't listen to that.
Menudo loved it.
Menudo is not a part of like that.
Loved it.
That plays.
Jesus Christ. We're going to the ad reads.
Prince is worldwide, dude. He's worldwide.
Prince is not worldwide. My parents don't even know who that is. I'll guarantee you that. Half of the people where I live do not. More than half. Way more don't know who he is.
In Denver, Colorado.
No, where my family's from, I said.
Prince?
Yeah.
You grew up in Colorado, though.
I said my family. Dude, but I'm listening to what they're listening when it comes to oldies. I'm not going off. Yes, when I go home.
Did you have a radio?
My teacher was not like, hey, guys, let's go do homework to Prince.
Oh, my Lord.
Clearly.
The education system in this country is
broken. I know who Prince is. I know why he's a legend, but I don't know who the hell. I've never heard a song from him. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to stop asking Yaya for coaching ideas if he doesn't know who Prince is.
If Yaya is going to be
top 10 most overrated musician of all time,
takes like that, you're gonna want to put on a pair of sunglasses and act like you fell asleep. So you can just let his crazy takes flow past you.
That is what
sunglasses are perfect for that?
For hiding your bad takes? Shady Rays.
Rays. Let Yaya rant. You just take a nap with the sunglasses on.
I'm just saying. I'm not looking for Prince. I'm not out there looking for Prince. I barely listened to Billy Joel like 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh.
You love that one Billy Joel song.
My
Though,
sweet,
so.
sweet Yahya.
Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. For the warm weather ad with premium polarized shades at an affordable price, Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. And that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by the lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact, from building their playsets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location, Park Meadows Mall. Full stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code DNVR for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. It's a lot of people rating it 5 stars. The North Boundary at Dick's Sporting Goods Park is the newest addition to Colorado Rapids game day experience. The only field-level patio in Denver sports offers space for fans to gather and take in action from an unparalleled viewpoint right behind the goal. Each ticket on the patio at North Boundary includes a drink voucher and gets you access to food trucks and concession options right by your seats. Learn more at coloradorapids.com/North Boundary. Tickets available now at coloradorapids.com. Okay.
I have a take. I don't like music as much as most people do.
Clearly.
Yeah, that's actually true. Music, I think I have a disorder where like music hurts my head after like 30 or 40 minutes of it.
I mean, you definitely have a disorder for
like,
sure.
I'm being completely honest. I also have to keep pausing taking myself off camera because I'm drinking a beer and I'm like guzzling it, and I look disgusting.
His disorder is this beer's getting low, baby.
Dude, I look disgusting. Like that Breck Brew looks disgusting on my beard and my. So
what Breck Brew are you drinking, my guy?
Island Beach. There's only one Breck Brew.
There's only one Breck Brew. Shout out, free ad for them. Good job. We love you, Breck Brew. There was Breck Brew all over the bar today. Can we just talk about how great that was? I don't care. I don't want to talk about the Rapids right now.
No, we
that
have
Buffs
to talk
game
about
was
the
unreal, dude. That Buffs game was so sick.
What is that the equivalent to a Rapids game? Would it be like 4?
Would it be the best game in school history? It would have to be like a 10-0 Rapids game.
No, it
like
wouldn't have to be. No, it would have to be. It was the 5-4 game last year against the Red Bulls. It's the closest
that's basically what it was.
They've got into lately.
Yeah.
Where it's just like Yaya Torre, RIP to his Rapids career. Like him, like scoring. That's kind of what it would have to be.
I think it was the 2016 penalty kicks with Tim Howard.
But they
like
didn't
back and forth with PKs going back and forth like the end of the football game today.
True.
Question for both of you. Any flowers to give out this evening?
Yeah, I actually do. I have flowers to give out, surprisingly enough. I want to give it to Rafa, man. Rafa,
really?
Yeah, I want to give it to Rafa for one reason. And it's the one reason that people are not going to like. And it's just because I like one part of his game. And that's his touch and delivery. There was a couple of times where I just really, really underestimated what he brought to the team. I thought it was just goal scoring, running, kind of that Giossi role. But he has such a great touch. He has such a great he has great vision, in my opinion. He just doesn't have that extra thing to send it out to the player. But I think I can tell where he wants the play to go. And I think with a different team and a coach, maybe a different coach, I think he's really going to take off next year if they do decide to go that way.
Him, and I guess I'll spoil my flowers too, Tavares. I liked what I saw from both of them. I mean, I didn't see enough, right? I didn't see enough from either because there just wasn't enough for them. But I like Tavares in possession. He looked good outside. He looked good running that channel into the box. He looked, like he's comfortable all around, comfortable receiving the ball, comfortable getting rid of it. I don't know. I've liked what I've seen so far. I don't know what the purchase option number is off the top of my head, but at this point, he does seem like a MLS level midfielder.
Yeah, and again, it has nothing to do with these players being good.
Yep.
It just has to. We're trying to be positive somehow, man. We're trying to find.
I liked what I saw.
Yeah, we like
what I
silver
saw.
lining. We like the skills they have, and it's not really flowers. We'll give them a seed so they can plant the flower later. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But it's more like, hey, dude, these guys are. You can tell like why they brought him in. I just don't think it's the right regimen to take them all the way to the finish line.
Totally. Duane,
what
any
about you,
flowers?
Nope. This is a rare. This might be my first non-flower game.
You know what? Screw this. People are gonna hate me, but I'm already unhinged and I'm a little tipsy and buzzed. Flowers to ours now for that damn tifo. That tifo is gonna burn everybody's eyes, but it might trigger something in Fraser.
What was the tifo? Because I missed it. The tifo. Explain it for people who are listening and versus
the tifo.
Watching.
All right, guys, people, close your eyes. Close your eyes and pucker your lips because I'm about to explain this horrible tifo. So there, the tifo said, "Where there's smoke, there's fire," and it had a dumpster, a dumpster fire with the Rapids logo in there. Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. It hurt my heart.
Really?
But yes. But at the end of the day, it might open some eyes to how bad this team is because there's no lies there.
Are you serious,
dude? Let me see if I can find it and I'll share it.
Man,
that's good.
It's a good one, and I want to give them flowers for the reason that it might actually push the Rapids to do something. It's not about the actual tifo and the creativity.
Getting clowned by just the absolute person. You're having the worst season of your life. Everything is going terribly. You have to go play a road game at your biggest rival, and before anything even starts, you look over at that. That just has to hit so far below the belt.
Look at that.
Oh, man. Good on them, dude.
With the record on it, too.
Honestly, that's that's pretty dope.
That's good.
This is the thing. It's so damn disgusting because it hurts. They know where it hurts, and I hate them because they hurt me. They hurt me bad, and I wanted to cry when I saw that. The Spanish commentators were like, "Yeah, we don't know how to feel about that, man. It's a tough one to see if you're a Rapid fan." I'm like, "Yeah, it is because it's true."
Man,
gosh,
that's crazy, bro.
13-5.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
14-5 now, right?
14-5. That's so disgusting.
Props to them for that, man. Excellent tifo.
And that's the thing, like, you got to give them credit for that, dude. They hit us where it hurt.
That was amazing.
And, like, I'm not, like, what's the point of getting mad? They're right. What am I going to do? Be like, oh, guys.
That was amazing. That's an amazing team. That's really.
Super creative, super smart. They know what they're doing. That's a great tifo all the way around.
Man. Wow. Since I am out of things to say about this game and I don't want to say, we were talking about the infamous 2023 DNVR Rapids, our guys draft in our Slack channel.
I'm glad because it's going to go into the Illich conversation.
Here's a fun game for the chat. Who had the worst 2023 our guys draft? Me, Yaya, Mitchell, or me?
I think it's you by a mile. Honestly, like, dude, I think you deserve the Will and Spoon award.
I think we all only have 2 goals scored. Can you bring that back up?
Yeah, and Bassett has 1.
Bassett has 2.
Okay, 2.
Rubio has 1. Maxu has 1. Max has 1? Might have 3.
Max, I have.
Did Max score a goal this year?
I don't think he did he?
Maybe it was an assist. I don't know. Either way, I think we all have 2 goals at least. I think just 2 goals.
No, he has a goal.
Okay, so I'm winning 3 goals, baby. Let's go. One guy's been out since
yours doesn't count because he's
with the gambling.
Yeah, yours doesn't count because he's so you have 2 goals because Max, like, that thing is not allowed after what
it counts for sure.
No, it does not. It does not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think by a mile, by an absolute mile, it has to be Duane. Price is hurt. Cabral's a complete utter shambles. Illich is the only one that's kind of like he's starting now. I got Rosenberry, who has been decent at least, not great. Bassett has played. Yappy has played. Both haven't been
B-Ray
great.
has a great point about my draft. Thank you, B-Ray. Thank you.
Mitchell drafted a guy who has possible connections to the Brazilian mafia.
It's amazing. That's awesome.
So,
that's cool.
That's going to count for something.
I won for sure.
Rubio's been injured. Maxu's been okay. Honestly, dude, tell me right now, which guy would have changed any of our drafts?
I don't know.
Yarby?
No.
Yarby.
No, Rogan had, compared to what we have on our drafts, it would have been way better.
I can't believe no one drafted Gutman.
It's Yarby. Yarby's the only thing that could have helped.
No, I'm not hyping up Bassett. I said he played.
I just said he had 2 goals.
Yeah, and all I said is he played.
That's not a lot of hype.
I said Rosenberry. Rosenberry's the only one that's been decent. Yappy and Bassett have just been there.
Man.
All right, next question. Bro. Next question for the chat. What's worse?
Because that's all he said. He plays. He's been bad. They just been there. Him and Yappy have just done nothing. They're just there. They're traffic.
What's your question, Duane?
For the chat, what's worse, my 2023 My Guys draft or that trumpet player from RSL? I think this is the only one where I win.
No, you lose.
That guy was terrible.
Yeah, but he doesn't affect us like your My Guys does.
He affected me. He affected me deeply, personally, and mentally.
It was so bad.
He needs to go to a music school.
Yeah, Bombi was the pick that would have put us over. Great call, Grant. Bombi is the pick.
Bombi not playing at all is the dumbest thing ever.
That was so stupid.
You decide to go with Wilson again, with Priso again,
and then bring in Lawless.
Like, what is the issue? Do you just not like him? Is he too good for your team? Is that why you feel bad for him or something? Like, what's going on? Bring on Bombi, man.
I had a thought today, and it's probably not the right thing, so I need you guys to talk me out of it. But
you're probably right.
There was a lot of money invested into bringing in Kevin Cabral, and he hasn't done very much with the minutes he's had, which, as we found out last show, is way more than we all thought. I want to see more minutes. I don't want to see another 10-minute Cabral. I need to see a start. I need to see him get some time, because we're stuck with that guy for a long time, and to just leave him on the bench, you don't develop on the bench. You can't get any better on the bench, and nothing could be worse than the play we've seen. So I want to see it. That's what I want to see. And I know that sounds weird, but we need it.
I'm not interested in watching Cabral play until there's an entire new coaching staff.
Fair enough.
I think that this current coaching staff has completely left him on an island. Porg brought him in. They clearly don't like him, and they've done, in my opinion, zero to develop him. I do think that there's potential there still. I know everyone's going to hate me for that, but I think there's been zero. This is not a development coaching staff. I just don't think that it is. And it certainly isn't with this current squad.
But we could say that for a bunch of players. I think Priestle's one of those players that haven't been
Agree.
developed.
And
I think Gavon's one of those players that's being placed in the wrong position and not being let be free like he should.
That's what I'm saying.
Bombi's another one. Yeah, like you're right. Like
no one is getting. If your strategy is to bring in players who are broken or injured, or don't have confidence, and you're trying to get them on the cheap, then you need to support. I've said this before. You need a coaching staff that is going to support those players. That is not what we have. So if Smith is going to keep bringing in players like this, then you'd better bring in people who are going to support them and develop them, or stop doing that. You are wasting money. and you're wasting these young kids' time and careers because they could go to some other club where they will get that development and support and go and be good, successful soccer players. It is soccer athletic malpractice, what we are doing. It's not okay. So that's the difference. If you're going to keep doing discount bargain players who need help, then you need to help them. Otherwise, you are not doing a good job at bringing in players.
That's just
That's
the
all
issue.
there is to it.
It's literally that's the biggest issue though. Like it comes from infrastructure, right? Like we say this quite a bit. We yell about it. When we say we want investment, we don't need them to spend money on a player. Like again, we love that. But it comes to investing in infrastructure, investing into a vision, investing into a culture, investing to what you want this team to be in the future. They said they wanted to do that, and then immediately as soon as they got a little success, they both went different ways. There wasn't a commitment. There wasn't something where they're like, this is what we exactly want. This is where we're gonna go forward. You know what I mean? And that's not the Rapids way. They didn't commit to the Rapids way because the coach doesn't feel like that. Yeah, I mean he has developed quite a few players, spawners. Like we went over the last pod. Like Sam Bison's there, Cole Bassett's there too to some extent. But again, we go back to there's no commitment. There's nothing there that they kept on the same road. They got to a fork to a fork on the road and they both went separate ways. There's no communications. You can just see that there's so many different things that coaching wants in the front office wants, and it's just not meshing anymore. Philadelphia's a perfect example. They do exactly what the Rapids do. You know what I mean? They do what the Rapids do. They try to get players on cheap. They don't spend a lot of money, but there's a complete commitment to everything they want to do from their academy. They know exactly how they want to play. They know exactly which players they're targeting. They know exactly where they're going to target them. They don't have that in the Rapids infrastructure. You don't see it that often.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest issue with the Rapids. You see, Eric Boucher is playing a completely different. On the completely style of play, you know what I mean? And it's very different. That's why it feels like it just comes to like there's not a commitment to what you actually want to be at the end of the day.
Nothing really drives home the clear division between Robin and the front office as much as, after the infamous Porig presser, we talked to Crookham for a second. He's like, you can be idealistic with their roster, right? And with the way the second team plays. And he kept using that word, and it's like clearly that's the way the people in the front office that are building up from the B team and the academy and everything up. That's how they want to play. That's how they want to go. They score a ton of goals. There's a ton of assists on those goals. Like they're exciting. They're on the front foot, and it's just not. It just ends at Rapids 2. It just stops right there, and we play Fraser ball, and then Fraser goes back to the well, and it's like here's Beta and Lawless, and like. There's no modern attacking soccer. It's so boring. It's so boring. And it just stinks. It's conservative. It's predictable. It's awful. It's offensive.
Honestly,
to watch the team play soccer.
It really is, because like as much as we love Hanya, you have a Hanya on the Rapids, in my opinion. You have a more creative, a faster, more experienced Hanya when you go and look at a Brian Gavon. To me, that's a quick player that creates and is ready to go. Why can't you use him the same way that Rapids 2 is using him? That's my issue. Like, you have the players in place. Clearly, there's just there's something between everybody that it's just not connecting. The message is getting caught somewhere, and it just doesn't work. It's not working, and at some point, there has to be a change. And I think honestly there needs to be a change organizationally from the front office, people that make soccer decisions, all the way to the coaching staff, because that's the only way you're going to get things done. Because you have to be connected and you have to want your people there, not just bring in random people for you to work with.
Man, I think about like, what do we do?
This how you fix the Rapids?
I don't want to have the same conversation again. That's why I want this to happen. That's why we need this change to happen. This is like the 5th straight show that has been the same. It's the same show. Every show we do.
And there's the thing. Juanes is right. I'm all in for Boucher. He's actually on my short list of 5 candidates. Eric Boucher is the guy I think that's brought up these guys from the academy and brought up and got these guys from the Rapids first team and meshed them in really good together. You see guys like Gershbach have a good showing out
The
there.
guy from St. Louis too, you had on your list.
Yeah, the guy from St. Louis. Dylan Stern has also been playing great down there. And then you have players like Andre Romo, you have Hanya, you have Seb Anderson, you have Michael Edwards, all playing great. That's what I'm saying. I think Boucher is the guy. If you want to go a little bit out of the box, you really kind of an unknown, and let the guy develop with the team, I think that's who you bring in. It's just hard. It's just so hard, man. Like it's extremely hard because this team is bad. I went through the numbers; they're historically bad. They can go down as the second worst MLS team of all time. That's horrible.
Do you think? Okay, so we have a studio. We have a studio day or studio show this week, right? Studio show this week. No post game. Studio show. We have 2 studio shows before another post game. Will we have an emergency show before then? Yahya or Duane. What are your predictions? Do we have an emergency Fraser out pod?
It's Labor Day.
Nerf gun to your head.
Labor Day weekend. They're not doing it on a holiday. If anything, I think they'll wait till next week when there's.
That's when you bury it. That's when you bury it on a Monday where everyone's outside.
Oh no, man! I don't think there is, honestly.
No,
I think Mitch makes a really strong argument in the sense that there's 2 weeks to the next game. So if you are going to do it, this is when you do it because you have 2 weeks to bring in, your interim, 2 weeks to get to the next match. So nothing makes more sense than Tuesday, and the thing is, like, I honestly, I just don't know because that makes so much sense, Mitch, that I don't think it would happen. It just makes too much sense. And from what we've learned from the Rapids is that's not the brand for this year, is making sense. So that makes me feel that, he's going to be here through the end of the season and then they'll make a decision. But if it's going to happen, it's got to happen Tuesday. Like that announcement has to come Tuesday.
I don't need an 11-game funeral for Fraser. 3 is enough. Like we don't, you know what I mean? Like what?
Like I said last week, set him free, man. Let him.
There's no coaching out of it.
Release him from all of it.
And that's the thing. That's Mitch. You're completely right. And honestly, dude, if we're living in a logical world, they should do exactly what you're doing. You're saying all the right things. You're thinking like somebody that how you should be thinking in this situation if you're in charge of a team. You're going through all of things. Like that's a thing. Well, like it's true. Like you're not wrong. I completely agree with you. But you're asking me. I'm just looking at the track record of this team and the way they do things. And it's just, it doesn't feel like that's what they're going to do. And again, if they do it, hey, you know what? Thanks a lot, Fraser. Appreciate you. We do the emergency show and I'll eat crow and be like, hey, they did it. But at the end of the day, I just don't think that's how they operate. It's not that I don't think they shouldn't. It's not that I think, oh, they should wait till the end of the season. I think they should just rip off the BandAid right now. But it's not, I just don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. And I hope they prove me wrong. I really, really do. But it's just, it's so hard for me to look at this and be like, yeah, they've done logical things all year long. Why would they stop now? It's more like they haven't done anything logical all year long. Why would they start now with 10 games left?
Yep.
I feel bad for Fraser having to coach out the season if you guys are right.
That you're right.
I feel terrible for him. He has to hate this. Hate it. He has to hate it. Dude, no one's going to be having fun there. Not one person is having a good time. Nobody.
No, going no to work one. No one already. No one is having fun there. I can't imagine anyone having fun.
God,
it's.
We have it rough enough going to work. Can you imagine that situation? No, I'm just kidding. We love it there. Just kidding.
Exactly, but even then. You fire him. Who do you have be your coach?
Who cares?
It does matter.
It doesn't.
I'm gonna tell you why. For one reason, you have two guys on a loan deal that you need to see something from, and you can't be changing systems on them. And again, I'm not advocating for him to stay. I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I think he should get the can here soon because he does deserve to go home. And you know what? Forget about this and look at what his future is gonna be. Not wake up every day and think what's gonna happen to him. So, like, who do you put? Eric Boucher? That's the ideal thing, in my opinion. But it's so hard to go find somebody, take over this, and then completely change everything over again during the summer.
Here's a counterpoint. One of those loans is for $4+ million. We need, like you said, we need to know what we have in Navajo, right?
But what makes you?
Hang on, let me finish. Like, we're not going to find out what we have in him with a coach who cannot coach offense.
Thank you.
So if we bring in somebody else, then maybe they have a better concept of offense and we can see what maybe he has. But right now we're wasting every game with him on the pitch and this coaching staff who does not know how to teach scoring. Put the ball in the goal.
And there's my counterpoint to that.
7% of games are going to shut out, bro.
But there's my counterpoint to that because again, I think you guys are right, but I'm playing.
I think you're just playing devil's advocate,
and I am. Like I said it from the beginning.
You little so-and-so.
But like I said it from the beginning, there's devil's advocate. Counterpoint to that. So let's say they do bring someone in. What makes you think they're gonna bring in somebody that's gonna know offense?
Once
the last player they brought in, last coach that actually knew how to do offense, besides Connor Casey, then he didn't even get the full-time job.
Literally anyone would be better than what we have right now. You just gave us stats on how this is a historically bad team. Literally anyone.
It can't get worse.
But this is the thing that, like, again, devil's advocate, because I agree with you guys. But like, there's like we say anyone, but that's not true.
Literally me. But put me on the sideline.
Let Mitch just try stuff.
Let Mitch cook, dude. Try stuff. Try stuff, FC.
This is where I come from. I don't think Fraser's the right coach. I completely agree with you guys. To me, as devil's advocate, I look at it and I'm like, Fraser should get the boot, but it's also like, we also need to see what we have in these guys. It's just such a hard place to be all the way around with this such bad team, such a huge investment in everything they've actually invested in. And then at the end of the day, you're basically going to, these last 6 months, these last few games, it's going to be for nothing. It truly will be for nothing at the end of everything.
He's only been here for like 4 to 6 weeks anyway.
Again,
he's already in transition. Bring someone again who can help him develop on offense.
Too much about it.
But this is the thing. But this is what I'm trying to make the point of. These few last games is going to be absolutely for nothing because you're having such a huge investment. 4.5 million. That's your biggest investment in any player of all time. And this is what I'm trying to make a point at because you're completely right, Duane. You're right. But what are you doing if you know you're so historically bad, you know you're not doing anything and nothing's happening, and you're about to make this investment in everything? So what's the point of bringing in a guy like that at the end of the year? You're not going to know anything. It's only a loan. And
what have you learned about either of those guys under Fraser? And what makes you think you'll learn anything? Okay, but my point is what is the best case scenario for Navarro under this Fraser offense? Tell me right now.
What's the best case scenario again with any coach? That's the thing.
Better than this, because we have a whole season of evidence of how terrible it is.
But this is my thing.
An entire season of shit.
At my end of the
on top of more shit.
This is the point.
With shit on top. It sucks. It's terrible. Anybody would be better. Anybody.
That's
anything.
What we say. But I really,
dude, it is what we say because it's the truth. You could only get worse if you were Cincinnati in 2020. That's it.
But this is the thing. I'm telling you this straight up because you guys are always complaining about the front office. So what decision have they made that makes you think that any choice they make from now on is actually going to be a good choice for what they're planning? And you keep saying anybody, and you're completely right. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay,
but
stop talking.
No, I'm not, because I'm still making my point. But this is my point.
You're not saying anything new. Yeah, you're just
saying. But you guys are also not answering my point. What decision have they made that makes you think?
You don't have a point.
Yes, I do, because there's no decision there. Like there's like anybody.
Okay, stop. So what you're saying is it's been so bad, but the chance that somehow they find the one worst coach to make this awful team somehow worse, you're not going to do it? Because just somehow, in case the other person is somehow worse than the second worst MLS team of all time, you're not going to make a change? That's an insane argument. Insane.
Whataboutism is the dumbest of all arguments.
It's
like
not.
Make your move. This front office brought in Connor Casey on an interim basis, and it was the right move. So there's what gives you hope that they might bring in an interim who might know some offense. But to continue to just say, well, what if a meteor falls
we should
out
just
of the
stick
sky
with Fraser scoring 16 goals in almost 30 games. You're right.
There's the thing. I completely agree with both of you. But right now, I'm putting myself in the.
No more butts then. End it. You agree with us?
Yeah.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you both, because you guys are completely right. He needs to go get somebody else. Anybody else better. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to put myself in this front office and how they've been managing the team, and that's exactly what they're thinking. And that's how frustrating it is, because that's exactly what you feel. If they don't fire Fraser in this next week, it's going to be Fraser for the rest of the season. And I just want you guys to get prepared for that, because you guys say he should be gone. He's gonna anybody will be prepared, but it's not gonna. But it's, and I'm not saying you two. I'm talking about in general for people listening to this. It's not gonna happen if it doesn't happen this weekend. It's not. If it doesn't happen on Tuesday or Wednesday, it's not happening until until the summer.
He's gonna be here till the end of the.
And this is what I'm telling you. I'm putting myself now.
Why are we creating this fake deadline?
Because it's fake.
Why? Because not. We don't know that. We have no idea.
Bro, you said it yourself.
If they come home and they lose this next game 4-0, like they probably will, that's another reason to fire him. There's no deadline on when he stays or goes.
They did it twice.
There's zero deadline.
They were down 3-0 twice at halftime. That should have been the boot right there after having the season they had. That's what I mean. If they don't do it here, they're just gonna ride the season with him. Like, because that's how they're thinking. They're like, well, we have this, we have that. What are we going to do? And again, I agree with you guys. Anybody at this point is better than Fraser, because he's not coaching offense. There's no offensive prowess to this team. There's no bite. I completely agree.
Well, we better keep him around to teach Navarro.
No, and the thing is, I'm telling you, he shouldn't stay. Like, I'm arguing for the sakes of arguing. Like, I'm telling you.
Annoying.
Yeah, but it's because I'm telling you.
I'm not having any fun. You're just doing it to be a shitster. Stop it.
No, it's not a shitster. Because I'm telling the truth, dude. I'm telling you exactly how that front office is thinking if they don't let him go. That's exactly how they're thinking.
Yeah. I'm not convinced he's going to be gone on Tuesday.
That's what I mean.
It just makes too much sense, and making sense is not what 2023 is about. You know, like giving extensions and then rocketing towards the worst season in club history. None of that makes sense. None of any of this makes sense. Spending a bunch of money to get Cabral and then not developing him, spending a bunch of money to get Navajo and then not having anybody to service him the ball. None of this makes any sense. So Fraser staying to the end of the season doesn't make any sense. So I believe that would happen, you know.
That's the truth. I think it is going to happen, not because of.
And it's also only 8 games. You know, it's just like, you know, screw it. Let's just run it out. It's 8 games.
It's 2 months.
It sucks. And
why stretch this out for 2 months?
Because this Duane said it perfectly. It's the
because
it
doesn't make any sense. That's why. It doesn't make any sense. That's why.
So sad. All right, let's end this on something that's not this stupid conversation. You guys doing anything with your long weekend?
No, just working. Got a bunch of work.
Winner?
I mean, I'm hanging out tomorrow. I've got a couple friends with birthdays tomorrow, so we're hanging out. But I will also be doing work. It is a busy time for ALLCITY.
That's right.
Between some very large projects coming up soon, and then also Buffs and Broncos are keeping us real busy. Oh gosh, is it really picking up crickets?
It really is.
And the thing
well,
is,
there you. I mean, that's
right.
on brand. That's on
Jerry,
brand.
You're completely what we were doing right now is screaming at each other. It's not productive at all. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we think or what we want because we don't make those choices.
Jared, when we talk about Rapids offense, doesn't crickets make the most sense?
Crickets. You're right. Thank you, crickets.
I mean,
you made our point.
I couldn't make this any more exact.
Thank you, crickets. I'm thinking about going.
Here you go. Listen to this. Hey, how many goals have we scored over the last 2 months?
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great job. Bravo. Bravo.
We use nature for this show. We're natural.
I'm thinking about hitting fish. Is anybody in the chat going to fish tomorrow? Just me?
Just you.
Are you the only fish head?
I'm not even a fish head. I've never actually been. So I think I'm just going to go. It'll be the most exciting thing on that field all season.
Again, I think I've heard one fish song. I don't know anything about fish either.
I'm not surprised about that at all.
No.
At all.
I don't look up people. I'll listen to a song and be like, oh, I like how he sings, and I'll look up more songs.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you're not a fish guy.
I'm not a fish guy.
All right. Duane, start plugging us out of here, please. Please.
I was muting the crickets. Folks, hug a cricket. Say thank you to your local crickets. If you have a chance, hop online and help out John Babiak, who's helping out kids. Because a reminder, no matter how bad Rapids gets, there are some kids who are having it much worse than we are. So help that dude out as he gets soccer equipment and other kinds of cool stuff to some of those kids dealing with some rough stuff. Go ahead, Yaya. You got it memorized. Drop it on us.
Give us a follow on _Rapids on Twitter. We really appreciate it. Or X, whatever we call it now. Give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to this podcast, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, or Stitcher. We really appreciate all of that. Follow all of us on Twitter. We like to interact as much as we can. It's really fun for us. Talk to us about how miserable you are, because I am just as miserable. Follow me and tell me how stupid I am for thinking Fraser's not going to get fired and why I don't listen to Purple Rain or anything else from Prince. Follow Mitch and tell him why he should go to the fish concert. Follow Duane and to hear more cricket sounds, because he has great ASMR in his Twitter account. We'd really appreciate everything you guys do for us. Leave a like on the YouTube channel, and please also give us a comment or anything you guys share with all your people. We'd really appreciate it. And I think Mitch's sound went out. Yep, he did. So, Duane, how are you doing? Duane, you're also muted. Mitch is back. I felt really awkward there for a second.
We're waiting for Mitch to take it out.
And real quick, we have our Twitter handles are down here. Mitch will put up his you can find us there. We'd really appreciate that.
Hit the like button. There's 14 in there.
Hey, everybody, I want to let you know that I will be playing a lot of Prince this week while Yaya is in the office.
Let's go.
So we're gonna learn him a little bit. So
we're gonna learn him.
All right. Get your merch. We got Buff stuff coming down the line. We got some Bronco stuff coming down the line. All sorts of fun stuff. We got some big announcements coming at DNVR next week. Big, huge, massive announcement next week. If you're a Broncos fan. Let's see what else. Become a diehard. You just missed the sale, but you still become a diehard. Get your free shirt, get your discount at the bar, which was lit today. Derek White was hanging out. Pretty cool. Get access to tickets, to premium tickets for stuff like the CU Buffs tailgate travel package. all sorts of cool stuff over at DMVR. More important than all of that, even after just another ugly loss, baby, we keep going back to the well, up the pits.